with game 2.
Yep. So here we are on Last Refuge. And I think your stream may have gone offline in the meantime.
Oh, I tried to start and
Maybe
it should be
okay,
back
it's
up now, I
back up.
think.
Yeah,
It says I'm
okay.
live.
It's back up.
I
Yeah,
had
so
to, because of the double Warcraft instance, I had to stop and restart. Otherwise,
yeah. That's okay. I suppose we mostly care about the like stuff that goes up on YouTube, or if it stays on Twitch, we're gonna stream it anyway. So it's no big deal.
I think it only stays on Twitch for a little while, but we can use it to grab the video files and then
Upload it to YouTube.
yes, exactly.
Because YouTube is more generous with its storage space. Like even if you have 1 subscriber and 2 views, it you know allows
Yeah.
you.
And they also don't take stuff down ever, so, there's that.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Where Twitch apparently will take stuff down after 14 days, so we'll have to remember to grab the files ASAP.
Yeah. So feel free to unpause the replay. I'll sync with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello, nice casting.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, sure. You can go. I'll sync up with the Twitch thing.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, so here we see Beastmen of Chaos again from Piggeater, and High Elves for Inspired.
Yeah, the way it works, there's basically a prohibition for having 2 same matchups in a row. So after a game is ended, at least one player has to switch, or maybe both.
Ready to work.
So whoever loses chooses who switches for one, the other, or both. So Inspired apparently said, okay, you, my dear opponent, will stay Beast of Chaos, whereas I, Inspired, will switch to the race which has won me, which has won Inspired the title, which is High Elves, and we see the Ungor harass once more. High Elf militia are summoned, but they
Out of
are
range.
yeah, out of range because they only have 500 attack range, so they get outshot even by most ranged units. They're not tremendously strong in that regard.
And we see Inspired's usual strat of using the militia from the farms to creep, so they're not available for defense.
Yeah, one proxy high elf farm is built near the green camp, and also near the other mercenary camp. And if Inspired is willing, he can even pull some of the Morlocks from the upper green camp. High elf barracks go up. They have like 1/3 of their hit points from one Ungor harassing.
Do they have any unique repair mechanics? There
High
it
elves.
goes.
Technically they do, although I don't think I have ever seen anyone using them. So for whichever reason, I decided to give them actually a second type worker called Craftsman. He is buildable from farms, and if you make an upgrade in the lumber mill, the craftsman, the high elven craftsman, can be sacrificed to instantly heal a building for like half of its missing hit points or something. Like it's maybe a little bit too contrived, so people don't use it all too often. But it's there, technically speaking, it's there.
It's a bit conditional.
Yeah. He has also some other mechanics that are actually being used. So Inspired is known to employ the like it's called the Azray. No, Azray is the Wood Elves.
Sorry, Assyrian.
Yeah. Asur craftsman. He can be employed to at a blacksmith to instantly research the next upgrade. So Inspired actually does use it. Yeah, like maybe not every game, but he uses it occasionally. So it basically costs you like 60 gold, and yeah, you can do it. So very aggressive play from piggeater, who has the summoning Centigore as the first hero, summons his Centigore and harasses. Fury of Cain.
Trying to take it out right away. Not even have a specialization for the Beastman yet.
Yeah, he's either thinking on or he has a little bit forgotten about it. It's usually beneficial to pick the specialization up the earlier the better, because you get a free item. If you're thinking, it kind of punishes you for not by not having by not allowing you to have a free item. But Fury of Cain is a very strong ability at all stages of the game, and with +3 damage from the Starwood stuff, the mage specialization. Inspired is able to hold, and he is also building the Arcane Sanctum. Costs a lot of wood, but he has a lot of woodworkers and is able to afford it. With 1 barracks and 1 Arcane Sanctum getting up, even though it's still tier 1. This is the feature of this specialization of high elves. They can build a tier 2 building on tier 1.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
And Wrath of Cain is this ability that he just used that gives him essentially the Phoenix attack of the Blood Mage, where he does attacks all units within a radius of him.
Yeah, it's a split shot basically. Yeah, like he gains a little bit of attack speed and he can attack like multiple targets at a time. On level 1 it's 3 targets, and then like, it's more.
And we see them coming back with the regen scroll working.
Yeah, 4 Ungors.
Oh, Fleshy Abundance. Does he have?
Nah, it's just the buff is called that way.
Ah,
like,
okay.
Nurgle Scroll confers the Fleshy Abundance.
That is
Archers.
also the name of one of the Grape Ray abilities.
Yeah, that's true. It's
So-
basically a rejuvenation. Technically I should fix it, because they wouldn't stack, which is I suppose a little bit bad. Maybe you can call it a feature and not a bug, although I don't think I've intended it that way. I just didn't think too much about it when I made it, and I only just noticed. So yeah, maybe, it's super minor, but maybe I'll fix it for the next patch. 1 Ungor is forgotten, not pulled back.
And gives
Yeah, this-
level 2 over to the High Archmage.
Yeah, and Inspired being cocky as he likes being.
Just a little bit of trash talk to keep it friendly trash talk.
Yeah. Yeah, he writes in translate that he still responds. Piggeater.
So are they allowed
not
to
sure.
research adept training?
No, only at tier 2, only at tier 2.
Which we see halfway done.
Yeah. Inspired has written like in Russian a little, but he's from Tajikistan. I think he thinks Piggeater is from like is a Russophone, because many people are, but Piggeater is actually I think either from Austria or from Germany, so he wouldn't understand it. But that's okay. And a worker goes down. A farm is probably gonna be cancelled.
I see
oh no.
aggressive wolf pens.
Yeah. And one of them can summon the wolves.
It's an upgrade for the Beasts of Chaos farm. It just allows them to summon these wolves, but each one can only do it 3 times per game. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, there is a limit, but it's actually way higher than that. Maybe I should decrease it a little bit. It costs 10 mana, and the building has 100 mana, which is not regenerating. So,
They can do it 10 times per.
yeah, 10 times per game.
Research complete.
See the
I'm not
second
sure
hero.
what. Yeah, I'm not sure what Inspired was writing in chat, to be honest. I think I've asked him afterwards, and he was confused about something. Like, I don't think there was a bug, but we can ignore it and focus on the game. It's an interesting strat from from the Beast of Chaos player. I think he kind of needs a shop here. And what he desperately needs are some levels, because he has only gotten 65 experience the entire game. And it's not that the high elf player is doing particularly that much better, but still.
They're holding.
Yeah, level
They haven't
important.
lost much, honestly. Taken a lot of chip damage, but with the priests now out, they're able to heal that back up. Second hero now out as well, tier 2. Both Arcane Sanctums, pumping out upgrades.
Yeah, this is what he likes to do. Inspired is like simultaneously do 2 adept trainings, and now it's ours coming up. And piggeater did choose a specialization, the one that grants him +3 armor, the Trollhide armor.
It's Nurgle?
It's Nurgle, not the most popular one. So, but it's nice. We see 3 different specializations already.
Very cool.
Yeah. There are some super cool mechanics in it, like maybe a little bit gimmicky, but still I like them. The one with rabies.
Rabies?
Yeah.
How does that function?
Basically same as in real life. Like you get bitten, and if you
Start going nuts and pass it on to things you bite? Ooh, good
th-
surround. Good surround.
Yeah,
Ah, that's
almost.
powerful stun on the commander.
Yeah, he has a very nice spell.
The uncrapped heroes going down pretty quickly. With the and now with Adept, they have a speed boost, if I recall.
Yeah, it's basically a
Will of
tier 2
Assyrian?
bloodlust.
Tier 2 Bloodlust. Oh, so slightly worse, but
Yeah, but
seems
it's
like
tier
the
2.
movement speed is pretty large. It seems like.
Yeah, because bloodlust grants you movement speed as well.
I know,
So
but
yeah.
I always feel like it's not as much compared to the attack speed. But
Yeah,
perhaps
it's a
it's
very
just
good buff stack from Inspired, because he has damage boost from Courage of an Aryan, and speed boost from Speed of Light, it's called. And now he also has an aura, which also grants him even more move speed and even more attack speed. So it's a strong power spike, and piggeater has lost both his heroes. And yeah, it's like he needs rabbit dogs right now, but he's far away from them because they require tier 5. So rabies, if you get bitten, there is a chance that you will contract the rabies, and they need to be dispelled within 60 seconds. If not, the afflicted unit dies.
it doesn't become an enemy and start attacking your
Nah.
further spreading
only-
the rabies.
Yeah, no. It's like with cats. You just die. You don't go fighting other people.
Typically, they go a little bit nuts and they become erratic. I think part of it is similar to like stuff like cordyceps and what's that other one that cats transmit? Toxoplasmosis, where it changes your behavior, and the behavior changes help it spread.
Yeah, well, with the rabies, I think the main vectors are other animals, and yeah, it's like a 5-minute virusology class. It makes your saliva like the fact that you're afraid of water. It makes your saliva more concentrated.
Right,
But like many species that are susceptible to rabies, like humans, they don't normally transmit it. They just die. So,
right. Fair enough.
yeah, because humans, even if humans were to become more aggressive, like biting is not common.
Not alright, yeah.
That's why, yeah, if it were,
Makes sense.
I'd freaking implement it into the mod, because I like such references to real life phenomena. No, here it's just
You're not. It's not zombie plague after all.
Yeah. But although it's funny that you would mention spreading, because in this very same specialization, the Nurgle ones, the Nurgle shamans, although on tier 3 and not on tier 2, they do have a spell which can be spread without it being recast, so from unit to unit. It's not tremendously strong, it's like a slow, but
Beast
still.
go down again.
Yeah,
that's
Beast goes down.
that was the second hero technically, but they're both still level 1, so almost level 2.
Yeah, now
Three
piggeater is
three
on the
three
back.
four.
Yeah, piggeater is on the back foot trying to defend, but it's a very strong army from Inspired and very strong hero levels. Also level 3 on the commander is technically level 4, like realistically rather level 4.
In
Because
terms
he
of
gains...
buffs.
Yeah, because high elves have this ability where they gain a free skill point every 3rd level.
Very strong.
So, yeah, they can snowball quite a little bit with it. Level 3 is a very big power spike for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our champion has fallen.
Yeah, Shaman's trying to afflict the High Elven army to slow them down, but it's not doing too much. Their buffs are still too strong, and the first Hearthstone is gonna go down in a second.
Swordmasters of Hoaf buffed out are pretty strong. 47 to 53 damage. Nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah. They only have 500 hit points. So quite the
Little
glass
bit.
cannons.
Certainly susceptible to AoE as well.
Yeah. But hero levels are a huge problem for piggeater. Inspired has played it really well. And I think like maybe the casters for piggeater are a little bit redundant because there's no one to do damage. And casters are good as a support unit, but here, well, I suppose it's easy to point out such, minor
Monday
flaws.
morning
I think
quarterbacking, as we say in America.
yeah. But
Stun. Oh, manages to survive for now. Uses the Primal Fury. But the Shamans are going down.
Our champion has fallen.
Beast Lord going down. Finally level 2 for Piggeater.
yeah.
I'm not sure if Piggeater crept a single camp this game.
Yes, he was so aggressive the entire time. And yeah, I think his game plan was really quite good because high elves are very vulnerable early game because the same mechanic with heroes, like to compensate it somewhat. The first hero is not free for high elves, but it costs 50% of the resources needed for a hero.
Very interesting.
So yeah, so they have a slow start and they have quite weak units early game. But Piggeater couldn't go past the farms too much.
He didn't want to get in
And-
range of the
Our sacred grove
archers,
is being
the militia
desecrated.
archers.
Yeah, that's true. And now the pendulum was completely in the other direction. And yeah, the level difference is so high.
XP alone, he could probably beat this army with just his heroes at this point.
Yeah. The Blasphemous Orb is working overtime with its chaos splash damage.
Nothing to shake a stick at 51, 62.
Yeah.
Average attack speed.
Yeah, it's 1.8 base attack time. So it used to be 2 seconds per attack. Now it's 10% quicker than that. But freaking
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Archmage is a beast with all those buffs at level 5 now. Completely destroys everything with his Wrath of Cain, Fury of Cain.
Also got that Mace of Striking.
Our
Oof.
champion, our warriors have engaged
Armor
the
Shred.
enemy.
Nuke. Finishes him off. Just in time for another hero to fall. Pulls the workers. Uses another Primal Fury.
Inspired is toying a little bit. Like he's allowing High Archmage to destroy the entire army, and with that, the game ends.
Game ends, and we'll take a brief pause and be back with the next round.
Yeah, game number 3, so goes full distance.
Alright, we are back. Wait for Nightmare to get ready and...
Yeah, it takes a little while for me to load, but I'm loading. I'm gonna get there. Meanwhile, I can say that Piggeater, confident in his ability to take down high elves, has apparently asked Inspired to stay with the same race and wanted to switch. I know his main is Skaven, but this time he has switched to Empire. So we have a... well, it's not a civil war. Empire and High Elves are not that big of allies. But yeah, it's one of the classics still.
You know, the humans and elves always can never agree on scale.
Yeah, that's true.
Elves
And
with
I'm
their long
downloading.
lifespan.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm done loading, so feel free to unpause and we can begin commenting the game.
Sure. Alright, here we go. Alter right off the bat for both characters, both players. And we'll see what shakes out.
Yeah. I wonder if Inspired knows his build order like tremendously well. I think building the altar first maybe is not 100% optimal way to go about things, because you still don't have enough resources once the altar finishes because of this 50% discount.
Cost.
Yeah, instead of a 100% discount.
Do they pay extra money for fast building?
Yeah, same as humans. Only Britonia has absolutely free.
Because they are
power
the
build.
Age of Empires race, of course.
Yes, yes, exactly. And they have free repair.
Your building is complete.
Because actually it's impossible to code it other way around. It's the same line.
Right, it's the same. I remember realizing that humans could fast
Your
build,
building is complete.
cooperatively build, you know, back in the day, because when you right-clicked on the building, it would use the repair icon was highlighted, similar to like channeled abilities.
Yeah, interesting. I feel a little bit weird doubting our reigning champion, or maybe not knowing the optimal build order, because I suspected once the altar finishes he wouldn't be able to hire the hero, but...
Already 3/4 of the way out,
Yeah,
ahead
he
of
is.
the Empire player.
Your building
Yeah. Inspired has put me to shame. Yeah, he knows his build orders.
Slightly ahead, of course. See some free company militiamen quickly come out. Militia barracks, pretty quick to build. The Grand Master and gunpowder specialization.
Yeah. Inspired's being cocky, as he always loves. I actually have no idea to which butterfly he was referring to. He misspelled this butterfly, which is a little bit funny.
I'm
We shall-
sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to chat. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's normal Inspired banter. He's very funny. When he plays in person, he also comments like very funnily. I had some fun episodes with him on LAN, like when he was playing in the computer club on the event recently. It was super fun. He's a very
fun. He
yeah,
does
very
that in
fun.
Discord too. You can sometimes figure out what he's doing based off of his self-commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like it's a true story. So he was playing the what was it? It was semifinals versus Caspend. His ex-manager, by the way, who's also a very strong human player, and basically I think it was me, one other guy, and Hawk spectating behind Inspired's back as he was playing, and it was a super stressful, super long game. It was best of one in the loser bracket, so very high stakes.
Your building
And
upgrade.
Inspired kept talking to himself, and every time he would make a comment, Hawk, who is a more experienced player and is a slightly better player overall, so he was like ever so slightly condescendingly, he would every time say, "Look at this guy, he's a schizophrenic," and we were all, and we all like laugh in a muted fashion so as to not distract the players.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. Yeah, Hawk also has a nice sense of humor. It was super fun.
I can understand what they mean. You know, he's having discussions with himself about strategies. Like, I should do this. No, this. No. Okay. I
Yeah. Yeah, and Hawk would turn to us and tell us, well, he's a plane, it's his plane, he's a schizophrenic, and we would all laugh, you know, trying not to be too loud. But Inspired did win this game in the end, by the way.
Spoilers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Forgot to hide the.
No,
Oh, that game that you were talking about in the.
No, not the one that we're spectating. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having my stories. Yeah, this game, unfortunately, is not tremendously interesting because the players are just creeping.
Yeah, so far.
Although, yeah,
A little bit
Piggeater
ahead.
creeps- yeah, Piggeater is creeping with the summon. That's why he's ahead. But Inspired has his priest up, has his first sanctum, opted to skip the barracks entirely, and yeah, is building a lot of stuff, taking to tier 2, has his second sanctum up.
Not sure whose wards those are.
Probably Inspired because it's not really making much sense
Useful to
for
put a
ward.
ward in your own base,
Yeah.
unless he's worried
Yeah.
about invisible attacks. Which I'm not sure if High Elf really has access to that.
Yeah, not really.
No Dark
There is probably
Templar.
like an invisibility spell. I think they do have walk between worlds, or am I confusing it with the Wood Elves? I probably am. I'm not tremendously sure. Yeah, one-man army, Fury of Cain, god of blood and murder, the highest deity in the Dark Elven pantheon, and still venerated by the High Elves.
God of War.
Yeah.
The only living Eldar god. Not to advance things 40,000 years, or however the pantheon works. If I recall
Yeah.
correctly, I think they're in the same timeline. It was the Great Old Ones that attempted to create a pocket dimension where things could be safe from chaos, but they failed to do so exactly.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm actually not sure. It's probably the I think they want to keep it ambiguous on purpose, although I'm not sure.
I think that was a recent change, but back in the day, it was considered to be like a pocket dimension within the 40k universe.
Yeah, sounds cool.
But yeah, they retconned that. I think you're correct. They wanted to leave that ambiguous after a certain point. But I'm a fan of the old lore, personally.
Yeah, so am I. Quite an impressive army for Piggeater.
A lot of gunmen.
Yeah, Inspired is gonna hit a strong timing soon with the first Swordmasters coming out. Like
Second
we all
hero.
saw last game. Yeah, we all saw last game what they do in large numbers with those buffs. And the Wizard Lord is out for Piggeater. A bit of a confusing hero if you don't get used to him, because he's like a spellcaster, like an ordinary spellcaster, but with some peculiarities. So this one is Lore of Light, and he's just healing, in the same fashion as a priest would do in ordinary Warcraft.
Ah, yes, they're very similar. Well, Dogs of War have the same mechanic, correct?
Yeah, exactly. One farm goes down.
I feel like you have to mess around with that in custom games, you know, it's hard to...
The Expo was trapped and now Inspired with an aggressive TP. I think ideally Piggeater would maybe relearn, like buy a Tome of Retraining. It's quite costly. It's 300 gold.
Gain Shockwave, it would be
Yeah,
pummel
Shockwave
those
would
Swordmasters.
shred. Yeah, it like Shockwave would shred everything. It's like one of the strongest abilities. Although 2 knights are also strong, not gonna lie. Although they do get dispelled.
He's got a Dispel on his priest, so quickly just feeding their XP tomes at this point.
Yeah, they don't give much XP because of some mechanical reasons. They only give like, well, not as much as they should. Let me just put it that way. But
Not as much
yeah.
as necromantic energy.
Yeah. It's like I didn't want to make a new unit, and the XP value pertains to a unit. I didn't want to make a new unit so that when you double click a knight, like all of the knights are selected whether summoned or
Yeah,
not.
okay.
But since they're summoned, all of the summons are hard coded to give half of XP that they are meant to. So yeah, this is the reason why they are not giving too much XP. All of the handgunners are upgraded into the Hochland variety, so their attack range is very high, 750, and they also have some stuns. And he really needs to kite somehow, but he ideally, a piggeater that is, needs a mid shield. But he can't
Yeah.
afford to summon knights because they would just get dispelled.
He needs physical knights.
Yeah, he kind of would benefit from real world knights, and he can make them on tier 2, that's true.
But the speed of light and the speed of Syrian combination, just running down these poor gunmen one at a time.
Yeah, very strong timing from Inspired, and it's just ranged units without a front line. It's hard to hold versus such a strong composition. Yeah.
Supply kind of flipped there for a second. Piggeater going back up to 50. But he's got to survive long enough to instantly dispelled again. Great micro by Inspired. Marketplace.
Yeah, as all shops are, marketplace is quite squishy, only 500 HP.
Shops had a delicate balance of wanting to buy items quickly and also being an important soft target to try to protect.
Yeah.
Inspired peeling off and robbing him of the expansion.
Yeah, those sword masters just shred the poor worker.
Just 3 autos it looks like, but we see with the courage of a Nereon, they are quite the damage dealers at this point.
Yeah, as they should be.
That's awful. I forgot how awful that was. Thought it would be slightly helpful.
Swordmasters versus Riflemen, but still we see Inspired respecting the Auckland long rifles. Especially if you chain stun well enough with them, you can be a real nuisance to heroes. Like they have a sniper shot, which stuns even heroes for like 0.2 seconds or something. Poor knights get dispelled so badly. Commander suffers, but has some healing up his sleeve. Shockwave would have been quite helpful. I'm not sure it would have been enough to turn the tide, but yeah, poor knights.
Would have been the priests and the back line, front line, the squishy high off bodies. You know, you'd think these sword masters who trained their whole lives in the art of combat might put on some more armor, but I guess that would only weigh them down.
Yeah. In tabletop, swordmasters are only second to. They're tied with the Chosen of Chaos as being the most basically prominent fighting unit, aside for heroes.
Ah.
Yeah. Full Grandmaster goes down.
We see the way Inspired plays them, they certainly are live up to their names.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, the Archmage shredding. And well, the game goes to the... not to the underdog, the series, but to the reigning champion. But very nice attempt by the challenger, by piggeater. Very well won, but well deserved in game 1. And games 2 and 3, it was hell of a fight. There was no walk in the park for Inspired. Very close matches, so well done, piggeater, and well done, Inspired.
You know, you always gotta be proud of yourself when you can take a map off the reigning champ.
Yep. Very cool games. Cool. I think this was very successful. I hope we are all super audible.
Yes.
as in the quality is really good. And let's hope it goes to YouTube.
Yes, let's hope this was actually streamed and recorded by Twitch. I sure hope it was.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much, Names. It's honestly a great help and a great boon to our community to have you cast some games.
Well, thanks for joining me, Nightmare, and thanks for inviting me to do this. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
and,
sure. I'd love to do it again sometime. Feel free to do some casting on your own.
Yeah, of course.
Whenever. Yeah, and I'll turn up if it's convenient for me. I am doing some stuff these days, but not too much. And yeah, I should be up if it's also not too late
Yeah, of course.
for me.
I
Yeah.
understand it's probably getting pretty late for you already, so I do
Yeah.
appreciate you joining me at this time.
No worries.
helping me
I'm
get
quite
set
the
up.
yeah. I'm quite the night owl, so it's no big deal.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you know Razor Moon, who's from Connecticut, and my mind gets blown by his regime, he goes, and it's also annoying because he's supposed to play his 2 final games of the league, but he goes to bed at like midday and gets up at like 7 o'clock in the evening. And if you multiply it by the fact that like his opponents live in different time zones,
Right.
it gets into insanity very quickly. Yeah, but he's a very cool guy, Razor Moon. I also
Seems like
know
he's
him in
quite a good
person.
player too, right?
Yeah,
From
yeah,
his
he's
record at
like
least.
yeah, he's one of the best players in the Western Hemisphere.
Very cool.
Yeah, super cool. Names. I'll be here more or less, but I gotta go to start ever so slowly preparing for bed. It's been huge fun and huge pleasure, and again, thank you so much for doing it.
Of course, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. And with that, I too am going to sign off. So thanks if anyone was able to join us, and you can look for these videos on YouTube later if you weren't able to.
Yeah.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to Dorser for some feedback.
Yes, of course. We really appreciate our live feedback so we could adjust to make ourselves, more audible and generally easier to listen to. So anything we can do to make the stream more enjoyable.
Cool. See you all later then.
Bye-bye.